Myself is Divya Bahal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is Mass Transfer Operations 2. So, in this lecture, we will study about simple distillation. Now, this method is also called as batch and differential distillation. Now, what happens in this method is a known quantity of your liquid mixture is charged into the still, which is heated using a steam bath or an electrical bath. You are taking a known quantity of your liquid mixture and you are heating it. So the liquid mixture starts to boil and thus vapors are produced, which are then condensed and collected. Methodology is simple: boil, collect the vapors and condense it, right? Now, of course, in early stage of distillation, when you are just starting your process, the vapors which are produced, right, they would be of course rich in high volatile component. Just the onset of vaporization will take place here. So in that condition, of course, the vapors that would be formed would be of more volatile component. So how now, as your process continues, right, more volatile component will separate out from the mixture and it will become less in the liquid phase. As you are heating it continuously, more and more you are doing, you are separating your more volatile component and you are taking it out in a condenser and collecting it as a liquid phase. But in the initial mixture, in your feed, what happens? The concentration of your more volatile component decreases. So it means now in liquid phase, composition of less volatile component is more and boiling point also increases. Of course, now as you have taken out maximum amount of more volatile component, now in your initial mixture, your less volatile component is high in quantity. Less volatile component means its boiling point is high. So now what happens is boiling point of this mixture has been increased because what is rich in it, less volatile component is rich. Now this distillation is carried out till most of the more volatile component is taken out. For example, in mixture of A and B, A is my more volatile component and B is my less volatile component. So I am continuing this process till most of A has been taken out. As I am taking out A, right, as I am separating A from A plus B solution, right, gradually what I have to do, I have to heat the solution at a more high temperature so as to form the vapors, because now in liquid phase B is rich in the quantity, right. So as I will continue further heating, right, as I will continue to increase the temperature, okay, so what will happen now, B will also start to vaporize. Okay, B is less volatile component, but what I am doing, I am increasing the temperature now because I have to generate more and more vapors. Now if I am continuing this process, now what will happen, B will start to vaporize. So in vapor phase with A, B will also start coming. Okay, so in what will happen in vapor phase, initially A was very high in vapor phase, okay, so its mole fraction was high. Now B is also coming into vapor phase. So what will happen? Mole fraction of A in vapor phase will decrease, right? So that is way your process take place. So let's have a look into the pictorial presentation of batch distillation. You can see in a distillation flask, liquid mixture has been taken. It's heated using a steam bath or electrical heater. Now thermometer is attached so as to know the temperature. Okay, of course, when first drop of bubble is formed, that is your bubble point, you note down the temperature. Now gradually as you are heating it, vapors are produced, you are collecting it, right, condensing it, and you are collecting the more volatile component as distillate. So what next? So let's say the mixture was A and B. So A is more volatile component, it means it has high vapor pressure and low boiling point. Learn this now. More volatile means low boiling point and high vapor pressure. B is less volatile means low vapor pressure, high boiling point. Of course, XA is what? Mole fraction of A in the mixture, okay, in liquid phase. YA is mole fraction of A in vapor phase, similarly for B and YB. So what we took a mixture which was of binary mixture, right? Binary means consisting of only two components, right? So initially what was my start point? XA was 0.5, XB was 0.5. But here as I am continuing my distillation process, right, I am taking certain readings here. So you can see how gradually the mole fraction of A is decreasing because now B is also coming into vapor phase. So you can see, simply compare 1 and your initial start point. Right, so start point was what? 0.5. From 0.5 I have concentrated it up to what? 0.73. So 0.73 is what? It is your A in the distillate, right? It has been, it means it has been separated out from your initial mixture. So I can say that Ya is equal to Xd. Okay, the vapor phase mole fraction of A, that is only I am condensing it and it is getting converted into liquid form. So Ya is what? Xd. In vapor phase, what was the composition of A? That is the same in the your condensed distillate, right? So Ya is equal to Xd. Don't get confused in the notations here. Okay, just try to understand your vapors, which is I am taking out of more volatile component A, and on condensing it gives a liquid phase distillate, in which also the composition will be same as that of the vapor phase. Now take an example of a component balance. Okay, I have taken a feed where my 1 is the more volatile component and 2 is the less volatile. Okay, the overall material balance is what? F equal to D plus W. Amount of feed is equal to distillate plus residue. Okay, so that is my overall balance. Now you can see my mixture. 1 in feed is how much? The mole fraction is 0.66. In distillate, your mole fraction is what? 0.97. Whereas in bottom, your mole fraction of feed is what? 1 is what? 0.5. So you can see in distillate, right? 0.97. It means how much you have increased the composition now. But that is the mole fraction. When I am talking about amount, let's see the calculation. So how you will calculate 1 in feed? Okay, this is component balance now. Overall balance is what? F is equal to D plus W. Talking about component balance, 1 in feed is how much? F is what here? 1 kilomole per hour. F is what? 1 kilomole per hour. F into mole fraction of 1. That is 1 into 0.66 is equal to 0.66 kilomole per hour. This 0.66 kilomole per hour is your amount of A in the amount of 1 component in the feed. Similarly, 1 in distillate, you can see. Molar flow rate of distillate, D is what? 0.34 kilomole per hour. That is the rate at which you are generating your vapors. Okay. Now in that vapors, you are of course you are going to have 1 component, 2 component also. 1 would be rich here. So the amount of distillate in your amount of 1, okay, more volatile component in your distillate is what? 0.34 into 0.97. 0.97 is what? Mole fraction of component 1. So that is what? 0.33 kilomole per hour. Similarly for residue, mole flow rate of residue into mole fraction of more volatile component in residue. Okay, so 0.66 into 0.5, that is a 0.33 kilomole per hour. Okay, so you can see how much you have extracted out. Be clear with the material balance, because in sums you have to be very clear with the component and overall material balance. So this is a rough idea how you will carry out your material balance. Now let's move with the derivation part. Here certain description notations are given. For example, feed is what? Feed, my molar flow rate of feed. Okay, it would be a mixture of A plus B. So I am denoting molar flow rate of feed as F. So XF is what? Here XF is mole fraction of more volatile component in feed. Similarly, distillate. Okay, distillate is what? Vapors on condensation you get distillate. Molar flow rate is what? D, and the mole fraction is of distillate is what? XD. Similarly for residue, W is your molar flow rate, XW is mole fraction of more volatile component. Okay, here note down XF, XD, XW are mole fractions of more volatile component A. So yes, you can see XD is equal to Y because vapors on condensation gives liquid A, which is enriched. Now moving forward, more volatile component balance. Okay, see, initially when I start my distillation process, okay, vaporization, suppose I have taken N moles, in my at that instant N moles are there. So that is on heating, what will happen? Of course vaporization will take place. So decrease in moles of A at any instant in feed is equal to increase of moles of A in distillate, right? Batch distillation means, batch means I am taking limited amount of feed first. Okay, so yeah, here you have to note down at all the times, this is the main assumption about batch distillation, that the vapors produced is in equilibrium with the remaining A present in liquid. Okay, try to understand. A in your vapor phase, it is always in equilibrium with your liquid phase. See, equilibrium is there, but what is happening? Your equilibrium condition is changing very fast here. Okay, at every small second of time, whenever your vapors are producing, corresponding to that vapor, it would have been in equilibrium with liquid. But we are continuously disturbing the equilibrium condition by increasing, gradually increasing the temperature. Okay, what did I say in the last lecture? That as you change your operating condition, an equilibrium condition disturbs. That at 1 second of interval, that amount of vapor formed, okay, the mole fraction of A in your vapor phase, that is in equilibrium with the liquid phase. Similarly, at T is equal to second, okay, another after 1 second interval, some composition might be different of A in your vapor phase, okay. So that would be in equilibrium with the A in liquid phase. So component A balance is given as Y star dd is equal to minus dnx. Continuing, of course, your Y star is what? Equilibrium vapor phase composition. So it is in equilibrium with liquid phase. So differentiating it, we get Y star dd is equal to minus ndx minus xdn. So I can say that Y star minus x dn is equal to ndx. So on integration, I get this, I get my final form. So here in example, you can see that, okay, at your vapor phase composition is what? 0.6. Okay, that vapor which is evaporating, okay, that is escaping the liquid, for that 0.6, your equilibrium condition is what? 0.32 in liquid phase, okay. A in vapor phase is 0.56. For that vapor phase composition in liquid phase, you have this equilibrium condition, that is 0.32. So I can say that 0.56 and 0.32 are the equilibrium compositions, okay. Now this Ya, okay, this vapor having composition of 0.56 is taken out, condensed and collected in distillate. Now more vapors will form whose composition would be different, and for that composition again it will have an equilibrium condition in liquid phase. So this way it progresses. So you can see at that instant, see, remember in batch distillation, differential distillation, why the name is differential distillation, right? Because at different instant you are getting a different composition, okay? So for that instant, when your XA was 0.32, you have an equilibrium condition, okay, in vapor phase, that is 0.56. Now the initial and final conditions are at time equal to 0 when I am starting my batch distillation process. So the number of moles, okay, the moles which I have taken, what is that? That is F, right? And the composition of more volatile component is what? XF. Now at any time T, okay, after completion, at any time T, the number of moles which is left behind in the distillation flask is W, residue, okay. Vapors have been taken out, so the remaining one is what? Liquid phase, residue. And the mole fraction is what? XW. So I am applying the limit, okay. F is what? Your initial, at starting, at T equal to 0. And at any time T, the remaining liquid is what? That is your W. So similarly, the mole fraction, I am taking the limit is XF to XW. Now solving the above equation, I get Rayleigh equation. You have to remember Rayleigh equation by heart. Y star is an equilibrium relation of Y and X that would be provided in an exam. Otherwise, you will see further, okay. I can use Y and relative volatility equation also. When using that equation, relative volatility equation, I get this formula. You have to remember this formula also. Now, moving forward, how you will solve graphical related questions, okay. See, in exam, X would be given, Y would be given, okay. So, you can find out Y minus X and similarly 1 upon Y minus X. This is the mathematical value, okay. We are talking about area under the curve here. So, what you will do, plot 1 upon Y minus XA against X. Now here, the area under the curve, okay, XF to XW, okay, from how much you are treating your batch, right, your feed, from XF to XW condition, how much I have separated out, that is what area under the curve, right. So, I can say that for 1 upon Y minus XA to X, the area under the curve, RHS, right, integration of XW to XF dx upon Y star minus X. This RHS is what? Area under the curve, and that is equal to what? Ln upon F upon W, right. So, graphically how you can solve the questions is, we will see in the example also, okay. From this Rayleigh's equation, the area under the curve, which is what? RHS term, You are integrating from where? XF to XW. See, you are going from right to left. XF from point 8 to 0.65, you can see. I am integrating on this. This is what area under the curve. This area under curve value is equal to ln of f upon w. So how you can solve it in the exam? Okay, ln upon fw. Okay, suppose your feed and w values are given. F value is also given, w value is also given. When I am applying ln, natural logarithm of this product, okay, I will get an LHS term. Now, if we have to find the area of it, okay, so this is the formula which you have to remember by heart, that ln of f upon w is equal to area into x scale into y scale, okay. X and y scale, graphically you can take it, and from that you can get the area. So what is the purpose of getting area? Now you will cover that area, and on covering that area you can get the value of your xw, final value. On solving the sum this will be more clear, but you have to remember the formula. So in gist about batch distillation, these are the certain formulas which you have to remember. First is the overall balance. Feed is equal to distillate plus W. Okay, feed moles or molar flow rate is equal to D plus W. Second is the Rayleigh's equation. Okay, Rayleigh's equation, what is the purpose of it is, it gives you Y average value for the whole process. Okay, what is Y average? It is the average of vapor phase mole fraction throughout the batch distillation process. Okay, in Rayleigh's equation, that is in second equation, if I substitute Y is equal to alpha x upon 1 plus x into alpha minus 1. If I substitute this value and integrate it, then I get my third equation. You have to remember by heart this third equation. Okay. Moving forward, fourth equation is what? Component balance of A. Fifth one is, this is used for when your questions asked are graphical related. ln of f upon w is equal to area into x scale into y scale. So these are the certain equations which you have to remember when solving the questions. Based on these equations only most of your questions can be solved. So that was for today's lecture. Thank you.